Hey guys, we'll get started in just a few minutes. AR, why don't you try to say a few words so they can hear that you're here?
This would work a lot better if my water bottle was actually dispensing water here.
That is why I
Better.
that is why I use a cup with a straw when I'm doing this, so I don't have to adjust anything and I just grab a sip.
Well,
Okay.
it's the straws like pressed at the bottom of the
Ah,
bottle, so nothing was coming out.
okay.
Uh,
Dev, why don't you say a few words so they can hear you?
my friends keep tormenting me by sending me pictures of merchandise that I really want. The
But
torment is endless.
that's pretty normal though.
Yeah, but it's always like the blind box shit or like the Ichiban Kuji where it's just like, I'm gonna get reamed on shipping for that or can't afford that. I
Let's
want
see.
the thing.
Okay. Okay, notes are all up to date correctly. We'll let someone in the chat comment that they actually can hear you guys, just on the off chance the meters are wrong.
Were there any late updates to the notes, or
From
like within the last 2 hours?
no, no,
Okay.
no, absolutely not.
I'm just speed running the notes as usual. It's like, I've been at work all day.
Sometimes I prep. I listen to the insert song, the full version. That was the extent of it.
I didn't even get a chance to
Okay.
do that.
Okay, we can all be heard. You guys ready to go?
Huzzah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Thrill Podcast. We're here to entertain and inform about while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, run with the will.
I'm AR Pulver, formerly Digimon System Restore.
DevQ and currently Wikimon.
Dev sounds angrier and angrier each week when she says that.
I am a masochist.
You're jealous of me because I was able to let it go.
I absolutely cannot and will not.
Uh,
I am small and full of rage.
how was everyone's Halloween?
Relevant now that I have a child.
It was really, really dead here. Like, there was, despite it being a weekend and very nice weather, there was like no one trick or treating. It was weird.
And we had a bunch of people.
I saw more
I mean,
people
not at my
dressed up at
not at
Pokemon
my
Go
place.
Safari than I did like just out in the neighborhood.
I'm on the
Mm.
third floor, so I've never gotten much in the way of trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, we don't we don't give out candy because we're in a condo, which is basically an apartment. But no, we went out and trick or treated in the neighborhood, and there's plenty of kids out.
And
Yeah,
then
around
Two My
here it's
Hero
usually
Academia
swarming, but
costumes,
nothing.
which threw me off.
we have to
That'd
talk
be
about
adorable.
the scary post-Halloween news. Not content just to be Mario, Chris Pratt is now Garfield.
Slowly taking
Huh.
over all of your beloved childhood favorites.
I mean, I could kind of see him as
John, everyone's like he should be John.
yeah, that would fit
Oh,
pretty
work.
well.
Yeah.
And what bugs me the most is the design for Garfield actually really fucking works. It's like they went back to the cartoon design and updated it for CGI.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last CGI one was like it was okay, but it was kind of off-putting.
No, I mean like full cartoon style CGI. Like not a real cat.
Ooh.
Like he looks like the cartoon show, like the old cartoon Garfield.
Yeah.
Like I
So
look at the
basically, they did
He
like
looks
a
like
Sonic the Hedgehog, where it's like they realize this
he
realistic thing is fucking horrifying.
no,
So
he
let's
looks like he
no,
looks
even
like
more than that.
Garfield again.
Yeah,
okay,
to the
good.
point that I look at the photo and I could almost hear Lorenzo music in my head. And
Friends are there. Anyway.
and now I feel bad because after Garfield, you always end up with Orson's farm or U.S. Acres based on what title they
Oh,
use.
yeah. Yeah.
And
There's not going to be a U.S. Acres movie. Hate to break it to
oh,
everybody.
see, you say it, but now they're gonna put a short before the movie. Disappoint all the kids ahead of time nowadays. And then we have Ghost Game episode 4, The Doll's Manor.
That was fun.
It was a good episode, but it's also beginning to really show the threads that we've discussed where
Oh,
something at some point needs to happen because the show's very much in this is the same show every week now.
It was a carbon copy of episode 2.
Yes.
There were
Yeah.
reasons that worked this time.
Yeah,
but it's
especially
not going to work for much longer.
Yeah, I
I
feel
kind
like
of liked how Gamamon was like ready to just like murder someone, and then Hero specifically like, no, 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 put away the knife.
I feel like they get
A lot of
until
knives in this episode.
I think they get until episode 7 or 8 where they have to do something, and if they haven't done something by episode 10, then we're all going to be very annoyed.
Oh, I'm at
This one's going to
6.
get murdered.
Episode 6 for me.
You think 6?
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no,
'Cause
7.
so-
7.
'cause 6
No, it's
'cause
7.
6
It's
would be the
'cause
second.
you get two Kiyashiro up.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get 2 Kiyashiro episodes.
Yeah.
And then
So
you gotta do something.
yeah. So we start off decorations, pumpkins. I will say this: the having the pumpkin dolls with the just the trick or treat commentary that worked really well.
I greatly
Yeah, and that's
enjoyed it.
that's one thing that kind of holds this together is that it's
The
still
theme,
thematically kind of fun.
yes.
Like they are doing pretty good with the kids' horror.
You know,
Like there's enough kind of spoopy thrills in this to kind of keep the threadbare plot
yeah.
together.
One reason it works more than Adventure is because it's focusing on the kids rather than the battles. But even that has some oddities that they're gonna have to deal with. But it makes the oddities easier to kind of ignore for now by focusing on the characters. Because
And it
theoretically,
kind of
that's
gets
what we
us
want.
back and it kind of gets us back to our first impressions of Hito and Rudy, just kind of seeing what they were when we first met them rather than, like last episode,
Yeah.
which was a bit of a divergence from that.
Yeah. And then dragging bodies, good horror movie imagery. The episode
Speaking
never.
of dragging
Love dragging.
bodies, really just
I
kind of like
loved a good
dragging Hero into her shit.
love a good dragged body.
Does that count
I
as
like that
her?
they didn't.
Go ahead.
She didn't even drag him into
No,
this.
exactly. He just gave up entirely.
Yeah, she's just like, hey, I need an extra body for this. Hey, this idiot's out here.
Yeah.
He'll
The
help.
way I put it is he's Shinji. He's just doing whatever's easiest for him with no effort or thought on his part, to the point that it's pretty clear he hasn't even looked at the fucking watch. Like that's a
Help us
decent plot.
decorate, Shinji.
That's a decent plot point here, is that it's not that she's being super clever and figuring out the watches. He's not paying attention to its existence at all. Hit this button.
Digimon, he's good.
Hit this button and Gamamon disappears.
It'd be really hilarious if there was a certain button combination that actually took him to meet his father and he just never bothered to figure it out.
I regret
That
that you
would be
say I
fantastic.
regret that you say that, because there's going to be some button combination that does something stupid like that, like calls the father, opens a door to the digital world that they didn't consider, or something like that.
What if it like calls the cat for a delivery and the cat shows up like, okay, where's the package you want me to deliver? What package? You called me all the fuck the way out here.
I don't like that, because I can actually see that happening. And Goramon is a wealth of fucking information. Just
not the plot dumper I expected, but the plot dumper we deserve.
really not. We get the old
But
computer.
it works because like
No,
it's some
it did.
basic knowledge.
It also helps because He's just sort of there. So by having him be an expert, it doesn't actually cause any negative issues. Mine is just, oh, he's a Digimon who happens to be knowledgeable about this stuff.
Yeah, he's the one that's actually paid attention to
Yeah.
history class or whatever. Like,
And
he just
hey,
happens to know things.
we're back to Cross Wars Evolution, which I like. Where, evolution doesn't really happen. It's mostly unknown.
He's like,
And
yeah, it just happens like over time.
yeah,
Digimon grow stronger, and then they,
Mhm.
change shape. But yeah, this
I mean,
weird thing where he
that's
turns
sort
back
of
is not unheard of.
yeah, that's sort of the norm, though, outside of any
well,
kid-influenced
yeah,
evolution for the
but
most
but
part.
but even in most of those shows, evolution is known of. It's not common, but it is a thing. In Cross Wars,
Yeah.
it sort of wasn't up to a point, and here, Angoramon, who moments earlier they tell us is kind of expert by what he knows, basically goes, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about," is what I mean.
Mhm.
And that it skews
Yeah.
more to the Cross Wars type thing, which is fun because it lets them hopefully do some interesting stuff with that. I don't know if they will or won't, though, to be honest.
It
It's a
feels like they
mystery.
are setting up to do some interesting things. Like, they're planting a lot of seeds that could really sprout down the road.
Pumpkin
Let's hope they
seeds?
I
keep
I'm
track
I'm
of it better than the last one.
I'm yeah, I'm
We'll see.
hopeful that these guys actually know what they're doing as far
I hope
as
it's not another Koshiro's laptop.
mm,
Yes, I hope the same director does it differently this time.
yeah.
Um, Pumpmon gets some fun with creepy trick or treat. I'm trying to
He's
decide how I want to put it.
adorable.
He's a very spoopy character. Too many people seem to be
Yeah.
like legitimately that this is actually scary, and no, it's not. It's not at
People
all.
these people need to watch Adventure in Tamers again because those had moments like that too. Hey, remember when Sora and Hikari and Takeru were under the floorboards and Paimon was stabbing at them? That was great.
Yeah,
Ah, gotta love some good old fashioned child endangerment.
the show's using
You
horror movie.
do.
The show's moving using horror movie imagery really well, though, even though it's not scary in the least.
Yeah.
It's using the
Yeah.
imagery well. I still go back to the body dragging. They kind of did that pitch perfect, to be honest.
They've done the body dragon a couple times though.
Oh no,
I
absolutely.
think
But
they
I
did a
mean
little bit of that in
specifically in this
Mummymon.
episode where they're theming it that way, and it's just being dragged
Sure.
into the past the curtain. That was just done really well.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
Especially
Hero,
one of the kids asking, like, hey, is this a prank? And then, they
and
are now a
then
pumpkin.
in this episode we get the proof that Hero's the main Digimon character as he shows horrible decision making at everything. Just terrible decision making.
Yep. Like, I'll be bait.
Yeah.
Great. Good idea.
We get the giant slamming pumpkin, and then we also get the odd clarity that the other world is not the digital world, at least if we take Angoramon at his word, where he says it's like the digital
I
world.
I think that's what I said when we first encountered it, that it was sort of an in-between-ish
Yeah.
place.
So
Yeah,
it's
basically Digiquartz.
yeah, exactly.
Basically Digicords, yeah.
So we're back to Crosswords again. And the weirdest part of the episode to bring in episode 4, not that I'm complaining, mind you, the Digimon Analyzer's back.
Yeah.
Yay!
Is
That
it a
feels weird to
yay?
I
Didn't
like having it,
wasn't I
but
like last episode? Wasn't I ragging on that thing last episode?
Yeah.
they
I
want
think last
revenge
week I
against you.
was saying it's like remember the Digimon analyzer and how much that disrupted the flow of of everything,
They gotta fill that
and now
time
we remember.
They gotta fill that time somehow. They didn't animate enough of the evolution scene. They have to find some way to fill time.
Ugh,
And then
it's back.
This is
and
still a
then we
Toei series.
and then we find out the crux of the plot is basically what it was in episode 2 again.
In episode
Pumpmon
2, yeah,
Pumpmon has a misunderstanding. He's lonely and he wants friends, and he just assumes they have to look like him because Halloween.
yeah. the best way to make friends is to put a pumpkin on their heads and carve their eyes out.
Yes.
Just common sense.
And they
So
really
it
do.
works for me.
They also kind of do need to clarify at some point what exactly can they do when they're hologram ghosts? Because didn't they say last week that they can't touch anything?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
like,
normally.
like Mummymon carrying people is kind of a loophole because they're affecting people. Here, he's walking around with a knife. Like that kind of like they need to kind of clarify what's going on with that because they're kind of swapping back and forth between episodes. That could also very much be early episode oddities in that the teams are just making episodes where they know they
Yeah,
need to
I
do X,
didn't
Y, and Z.
I think that was just a convenient excuse to not letting Ngoromon influence anything until he
Oh
was
no,
ready to.
absolutely. But the absolutely. But then when the next episode you have someone walking around with a knife and fucking with pumpkins and shit, you do need to rein that in at some point. Now, early isn't when I expect it, mind you. It's just
Yeah,
when it's
we'll see how
yeah,
consistent it is next week with Jellymon.
yeah.
Because
Maybe
it seems like
Angoromon
Jellymon's
was
done a
just
whole.
misinformed.
And then am I
Yeah, it
wrong?
could be possible that Angoromon's just wrong about everything.
That's true because that's come up before. That came up where Pokemon would be wrong, Renamon was wrong about stuff a number of times.
I think
Just like,
Wisemon messed
yeah,
up a
well, I'm
couple
a
times
Digimon and
Yes.
I tried touching stuff and I can't touch it, so I
Yeah.
guess other Digimon can't do that either. And then
last.
fucking
Yeah,
Oh,
in
that's
fact,
proven
how about
wrong.
that?
in Cross Wars, wasn't that one of Wisemon's things where anything he hadn't specifically read a book about, he kind of just made assumptions on and then didn't worry about it?
Something like that, yeah.
It was something like that. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it was roughly that. Am I wrong, or did the animation feel much not like fancier? It felt fresher, and less kind of static.
Yeah, it was
A little
vibrant.
smoother.
Yeah, especially like
Yeah.
character faces felt much better. Especially did Ruli's face feel much more animated than last week?
I mean,
Like,
it would have been naturally just
yeah,
because
I guess
she's
so.
not
Yeah, you're right.
panicking.
Yeah,
Like,
and
this is normal
we
beauty.
we still need more of her personality because this time it's mostly not rudely, but kind of just shoving her around.
That seems like her personality, though.
I'm
That's
not
the
sure if that's her
impression I
person.
got. Like, that's kinda she's sort of a take charge
It
type of
may.
Charge
girl.
acquire minions.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
And
that's her personality or if
she
that's the
likes
plot.
acquiring
Yeah,
minions. Well, I mean, but that's, like, sort of was established with the way she was dealing with, Akane. Like, Akane
true.
kinda trusts her to deal with this,
Yeah,
the, older girl. Like, "Okay, you got this. Have fun."
Everything'll be fine.
But I think the reason I can kinda let this get away with being a clone of episode 2 is because of Angoromon's explaining or presumably explaining things. Just it sort of kinda gives us a little bit of more a little more insight, we kind of know what's going on a little bit better now through this process, whereas Mummymon was still sort of, we don't really know what's happening.
yeah. The pat. I'm trying to decide how I feel about the patterns overall because it. I mean, we
It's a
mentioned it
thing you
before.
can pull off It's something you can pull off once.
Early.
If this pattern continues,
Yeah,
then yeah, you're gonna lose points.
yeah.
Especially if they continue, the odd numbered episodes are presumably hostile Digimon, and the even numbered episodes are, oh, they were just misunderstood.
I feel like that they have to get past. That setup is more so that the initial fight gives them more of something to do, but we'll see. How much longer do you think they do? And the Digimon leaves at the end.
At least 3.
Yeah, that one could be stick around a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Make the kids complacent into thinking like, oh, peace is the answer, and we can talk through things, and then finding out the hard way. It's like, no, no, sometimes violence is the answer.
Nope. This one
yeah,
you have to kill.
yeah. Interesting that they brought Alekmon as the voice of Pumpmon. Very very good Pumpman, I'll say. He really got the mood down
Oh
very
yeah,
well.
it was an appropriately spoopy Pumpmon as opposed to joyful and fun-loving Pumpmon.
Absolutely.
I am wondering. I'm trying to decide when we find out Digimon that are going to show up, how quickly people are going to comment on what they're going to be confused about now. Because now that they've done it twice, there's a pattern for people to try to guess on. So, yeah, I like the episode. I hope the theme moves on soon, is my one
It
hope.
has to.
Because
It really has to, because a couple
it
more of these and they're gonna be right back down into C territory.
that sounds about right. So now, you know what? I'm gonna say that even if it sticks there, it's gonna be higher because if they stick with the character based stuff, it's easier to kind of ignore it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would, but
It
you
it's
do have to actually start to develop the characters a little bit. You have to
yeah,
push the characters a little bit more than what we've been getting
yes,
right now. Like, it's
and
not the pace isn't there.
maybe get to some more interesting battles. Adventure overdid it. This is kind of going the opposite.
Yeah, they're really the battles are really understated, which I appreciate for now, but eventually they're gonna have to ramp it up.
And then next week, Divine Anger, where we finally meet Jellymon, and either
Thank God.
either the Nagatora jokes get put to bed or they will never end. I'm leaning towards never
I'm
end.
going to ever end.
Doesn't that?
Increase the fucking thing.
Yeah. Oh man, those. I would say those jokes are gonna get tired fast, but at the moment they're effectively on the same pace as the show, so we'll see. And then we have yet more Ghost Game to talk. So first, we get an English website for the show, and they added English subtitles to the music video for Faction. I keep wafting on which logo I actually like better for the show, the Japanese one or the English or the calling it English doesn't quite work. The English speaking world, let us say, it feels
I
more
think I like the
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 English
I
is
top
think
one
I
more
feels
like
a
the
little more.
Japanese one
the English is more
better, honestly.
cohesive, but yeah, I kind of like having the Digimon text just kind of fit in there and be
Yeah, the
kind of
Digimon
offset.
is in the English is it's too big for me.
Yeah, yeah. I would tend to agree. It feels like it would have worked really well if they shrunk it and put it in between the tops of the two G's,
That would be
and
fine.
maybe kept those arrows, which those are fine. But yeah,
Yeah. Not sure if I'd go with the same font though.
I would
That's a tough
say
one.
I think you can use the same font. I think you need some color differences
Different
if you're
color.
going to, because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
or maybe stick a different character's I in that O, because it's very strange that we don't get the O in the show
Oh
title.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, English subtitles for Faction seem nice enough, and the single was released, and I listened to the whole song, and my primary thought is I think at one point this was going to be the end song. This does not have the energy for an insert song.
It was a very yeah, this is one of the more meh evolution
Yeah.
songs,
Here's the weird.
especially coming off of the adventure ones.
Yeah. Here's the weird thing. There are times
I mean,
listening to the
everything's a
song.
letdown after Break the Chain.
There's times listening to
Not
the
wrong.
song where I can really hear it feel like it wants to amp up and then it doesn't. And there's various beats where you can almost hear the history of Digimon music in it, which makes sense because
Yeah.
he did the music for most of those shows. But this does not have the energy for an insert song.
Yeah.
There's honestly a good minute and a half in there where I go, if you pulled out this exact minute and a half and stuck it on an ending, no one would know this was ever an insert song.
It might be the ending song because I still wouldn't be able to recognize the ending thing if you played it for me.
I like the. I'm looking forward to the full version of that. The problem is the opening songs are very good, like cartoonishly good for the show, and the main issue is the other songs at the moment don't measure up, to be honest. That's
Yeah,
the
the
one.
main song, the opening song is interesting at least.
Yes, that's the one thing is no matter what anyone thinks about Adventure, basically all the music was fucking great,
Oh yeah.
God, yes.
and this kind of comes off flat, which is odd because I don't dislike the song. I just kind of don't like it as the insert song, which is weird. So yeah, and then yesterday they put up Digimon Calendar for November. I like getting these before anything's useless. It's so nice, isn't it? So not too much to go over here because most of it comes up elsewhere. The Loft Shop opens. The Dynamotion figures are out later this month. Those earrings and the was it a neck? It was a necklace. Was the other one
Yeah,
comes
necklace
out?
pendant thing.
Yeah, and then it feels like the topics section they're running out of material for, because I need to double check. I swear I think the Digivice V is copy pasted from last time. In that these are the real big things for the month. I think that's the same, and I need to check. And hey, Millennium on raid, so everyone gets to beat him up together.
Yay!
But yeah,
It won't take very long, don't worry.
no. Then after calendar, hey, look, we have Survive news. So first, it was rated in
Yeah.
Korea. It's 12 again. That's a theme. And then Bandai finally decided to open their mouth to talk about Survive and went, yeah, next year. See ya.
To clarify, that was the news that Bandai actually said something.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is amazing because they literally said nothing, and even if you look over the Japanese version, they basically go, "Yeah, we could have said something, but eh." Like people are translating the word as confused. I think it's more that they just didn't have anything to say, and that word can be translated a few different ways.
Like, we were just hoping you wouldn't fucking notice.
And then people responding to the message like, "We're just glad to know you care and are keeping us up to date." It's like, no, they're fucking not.
They're not.
No,
Like
you
like
They
guys
really
were.
aren't.
These are the
like
same people that were blasting them on Twitter for the last 5
well, no,
months.
and people get confused where I will blast and then won't. I will blast in the sense of fans being unreasonable, and like we said, sitting there and looking at the calendar for when spring is unreasonable. It could be a few weeks
Yes.
later, it could be a month
Yeah.
later, just as long as it's roughly in the ballpark. Putting up a message that says nothing after a year is not actually reasonable. Now, here's the thing. If the message last year had simply said, we're working on the game's not canceled, there's just stuff we need to work through and we'll get to when we can, then they could take 3 years and I would say very little. Because that can happen in game development. This kind of falls into that weird hole that we've talked about where Habu kind of likes being the hype man, but there's nothing to hype. So the hype is now, hey, we're working hard and we'll share stuff where they even go, we're looking forward to sharing news and updates soon. Don't say that because now you already have people going soon. They're going to say something before the year's over. It's like that's not what
No,
that
they're not.
means. Oh, they very
They're
well
not.
may. Because here's the thing. We obviously know jack shit. They are sending in tapes for ratings, though, and we know when some of those tapes are actually sent. So at the very least, we have a rough idea that stuff is at least going on still at this point. But also, we know nothing. Nothing's relevant, nothing's interesting. Technically speaking, we don't even, and this is where I think the problem actually shows up. They keep talking about it like they're doing big things without actually confirming they are. So most people seem to go, oh, they're completely redoing everything and making the game bigger. It's going to look nice. It's going to have more Digimon. It's like they didn't
Nah,
really say that.
they didn't
It
say
They
that.
didn't say shit.
they keep,
No.
but they keep generically hinting that, oh, they're putting more time to make it even better, or rough things along that line that don't really mean anything. But to fans who
Mm-hmm.
have been waiting and who are actually looking, None of the three of us are looking forward to this as far as I'm aware. Like, we're looking forward to it as a thing, not as this is going to be an amazing fucking game and so forth. People who are actually looking
It's just
forward
like,
to it,
oh hey, it's a tactical RPG. I
no,
like
exactly.
those kind of things.
People
Yeah.
looking forward to the game though are reading this as, oh, they need more time to make the game even better, so we have to move it because we're making it better, and that is not what it means. And that's where I do feel
No.
a little bad for people who actually think that this. I mean,
Yeah, that every delay means that they're adding something cool to it,
yeah,
when it might just be that they're trying to get what they already
yeah.
announced to work.
And that's the thing is we could see the game and it could be a completely different fucking game than what we saw. Two. When was the last
Yeah.
time? When was the last time we're 100% sure we saw something new? 2.5 years ago, about, because they were doing previews a year and a half ago, but that was all stuff that could have been from God knows when. So this could be exactly the same as it
Yeah.
ever was, or it could be completely different, and
What is
that's
Everly?
strange. So more updates to come someday, and theoretically, they shouldn't have said 222. They really shouldn't have. They should have said it won't be out this year. We're doing our best. They should not have said 2022. Even if the game's fucking dud, there could be some random scheduling delay that's gonna fuck that over. Have it out in December, and then people are gonna be pissed even hitting it.
I would
And
cackle.
yeah, and then Halloween art for Digimon Profile. I fucking love
It
this
was
art.
so good.
Such good
This is
art.
fun.
The previews just kind of doing a paragraph about various types of quote unquote embody the spirit of Halloween Digimon.
They
The
worked
art,
some unusual ones in there. I like that.
there's good variety here. Um,
Yeah.
some of them kind of don't. Some of them are kind of like, oh, Black Cat Digimon. It's Black Tailmon and Sistermon Noir. It's like
Sister Noir.
it's like, okay, he is Black Cat themed, but it doesn't really like fit the theme, and they kind of
Yeah.
just have her.
Okay, it absolutely does, because do you know how many sexy nun outfits I see on Halloween?
I have to
It's
be
a lot.
honest. I have to be honest. When I was writing the article for just half a second, I seriously considered writing Sistermon Seal and just ignore and just pretending like that's what it said and not responding to anyone who asked about it. I gave
That would be
serious
the
thought.
that would be the best troll job ever, to have the Japanese one be Sister Noir, but when you translate it to English, it shows up as Sister CL. At that point, they're doing it on purpose. It'd be great.
I will say I like how Ghostmon's the center here. For a
Also,
new,
like throwing blue light onto the other characters.
yeah, there's some really nice work here. Does it seem the little black cat on Witchmon? That's on her profile art, I think, isn't it?
So yeah.
I would have
Pretty
put
positive.
I would have put Black Tailmon there. But yeah, that whole thing was nice. I'm trying to decide how I feel about them going happy Digiween.
I try not to think about that. That's the point where I go, it's like, right, this is still a franchise for children.
And then, which Gamamon adult evolution are you most interested in? And the order that they put them up is Betel Gamamon, Kaus Gamamon, Wezen Gamamon. And I'm going to go ahead and guess that the order of popularity will be Betel Gamamon, Kaus Gamamon, Wezen Gamamon.
I don't care about any of them yet because we've only met one. And we've only seen it for like 30 seconds combined.
Okay, then we will rejigger the poll to make it better. Vote for Fladramon Gamamon, XVmon Gamamon, and Green Lydramon Gamamon. Who would you vote for?
Omegamon.
Green Lydramon, because
Oh,
he has tiny little legs.
Megamon is gonna
Yeah,
win the poll, and
that's
he's not
fair.
even in it. And then,
Watch.
Hey, look, something Digimon Tamers went up for pre-order, and I'm 99% sure they won't pull it down after a week because they already did that. So
Baby steps, Tamers. Baby steps.
pre-orders are up for Dim Card. The name doesn't really work well anymore, does it? It needs to be like Volume EX2, because having the EX2 name when it's not a set feels kind of weird. So
Yeah.
we already knew the lineups from a week or two ago, but now we get all the sprites. The sprite work's actually really good for the ones we hadn't seen before, to be honest. I'm trying to decide which one's my favorite, and I feel like it's Terriermon. Terriermon wins everything, and that Galgomon's fucking amazing. Like, it's weird.
It really, really reminds me of the I'm not sure if you played the Digimon Online battle server. It looks like that style.
Well, I think the sprite from that was actually in Battle Spirits, the Galgomon
Yeah, or
one.
at least pretty close.
So here's the weird thing about Galgomon. If you look at him, at the same time, his proportions both look perfect to Galgomon and really fucking wrong, and they're both kind of right because like it's not quite big enough, but like it makes perfect.
Squishier.
Yeah,
His body's a little shorter.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't-
He's very stout.
And then Cherubimon Virtue's just really happy to be included. Has this nice smile. It's like, oh, I get to be included in this instead of Vice.
Well, when you see enough of Vice, when you see Cherubimon Virtue, that smile really
know.
does stick out.
I know he's very happy to
I'm
be
glad
there.
they got it in there.
Yeah.
Happy Clown and Grumpy Clown.
And then the Renamon ones. I'm trying to decide which my. I think
I'm partial to Yokomon and the Devas. The Devas came out really nice.
I think sprite-wise, I think the X might actually be the nicest one here. Like in the sense of trying to make that design work in a tiny sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know how the hell they were going to manage that.
And it actually looks pretty good, which is kind of weird because I don't actually like Dukemon X's, even though it's perfectly accurate. It just is too much Dukemon just standing there, even though Sakuyamon X are the same, based off the same sprite, clearly. Sakuyamon X just looks so much grander, it sort of works for me. So pre-order for these are up. They're about $10 each. The shipping at Amazon is a bit cockeyed at the moment, so I would wait to pre-order because, ooh, yeah.
Everything's terrible.
I believe when I was putting in the cart to make sure it could be ordered internationally because I didn't want to link to it if not, I believe it was 3,300 for the three of them, and there was like 45 for shipping. Yeah. Because international shipping's kind of fucked right now. So good luck.
Yeah, which is why I haven't ordered
Yeah,
that many things.
so here's what you not you necessarily, but if you order stuff from Amazon Japan, give stuff a few days because after a few days, they change the option from their own thing to a like a shipping dealer they use. So basically, it ships it in big batches and it takes a few days, and then it gets to whatever private warehouse here, and then they just ship it again without charging you. So the price ends up being cheaper. It just takes quite a bit of time. It just takes about, instead of 2 or 3 days, like for me, it's 2 or 3 days when I order something from Amazon Japan. This is more like 2 weeks, but it's much cheaper. So if you're not ordering a ton of stuff, just give it a few days and see what happens. I don't know why I keep ordering these. I'm not using the fucking watches. I just have kind of decided, hey, I'm going to collect these for a while.
I'm only ordering the ones I plan to actually use at some point.
And then once those fucking figures show up, I can send you your Tim cards.
Hell yeah.
Those figures should be shipping any day now.
Eventually.
And then we have cards. They're really enjoying the card previews lately. I think what's going on is that because Booster 8 and Starter Deck 11 are on the same day, they're kind of blowing through previews so they can preview both of them without it getting too shoved in. So we get Fremon. Every time I see Fremon, that's a weird fucking looking Digimon, even for Digimon.
It's just like a head with a fucking lizard
Yeah.
fro on it, and its body is just weird.
And then in weird recolored Digimon who are now getting like badass cards, Kogamon. That's a badass looking card. Patamon and Takaru from O2. Every single person insulting that Patamon card art needs to be hit. That is amazing fucking artwork.
It is, especially like
Yes.
combined with the Angemon one. Like
Mhm.
they just go so well together.
And then Gilligan, fresh off the SS Minnow.
Of course.
I will say, the line art they're doing on the O2 Kids is a bit different than the line art almost kind of skews more to Adventure 2020, and it actually kind of works for these.
Yeah,
It's
I can
a
definitely
little
see that.
consistent, yeah.
Yeah. Angemon gets a card to match with the Patamon card, which, again, Patamon looks even fucking better on this card.
I love it, unironically. It's just, oh
It's
god, he's so
amazing.
squishy and happy.
And then talk about, I love when we can tell what like the mini themes are going to be just from a few cards. So we get Ryudamon and Yuji.
Oh, that's a deep cut.
Yeah. And then
That is a deep cut. UG.
Eternal Dragon, King Blade, and Oryumon get cards.
Ah,
Yeah, those are some.
they look utterly badass.
The Oryumon one especially looks really great. And then to get even weirder, Vmon and Blacktailmon. The Vmon card's fucking amazing. I've seen some people say this card doesn't look good, and fuck no, that's wrong.
But
That card looks fucking amazing.
it does. Kenji Watanabe just going just like insane.
Yeah,
This is amazing. I love it.
and the Blacktailmon card looks
That's
great.
my favorite one so far, hands
With them
down.
playing, that looks great. I still like on the Vmon one because we know he likes to draw Numemon. He just shows Vmon plowing through a bunch of little fuckers. Just and then we get a couple weird ones. So Animalakarimon gets probably the best art he will ever fucking get, where it's him floating in the water, a couple of Shakumon and a Ganemon are just watching, and then that
Surprisingly
one
peaceful for
I know
for what's usually just a monster of the week.
that one Shakumon like ooh,
They're very happy.
and then Ikakimon gets a card, and that is a very very excited Tanamon. That Tanamon needs its own card immediately. Every time I look at the
Tanamon didn't see a Kakimon in this episode of Ghost Game, did
no.
she?
And then we get okay. So let's do the option card first. Flame Hell Scythe for Ophanimon. Great looking card. I actually really like it. But the interesting one to me is the Ophanimon card itself, which is Nakana Haido drew it, who longtime Digimon artist and designer. It is themed very similar to an Ophanimon Fall Down card that he drew for Battle Spirits. Because he drew the 1.5 card for that, and it's like he took the same theme but did it completely different. So it looks really
Like the
fucking neat to me.
reflection in the scythe is so cool.
Oh no, that's really good. I kind of like where it's not the same. It's not the same card in any fashion, but like he took the same theme and like the same backing style. It just looks really fucking neat. Where it's like two takes on the same thing from the same person. I just really like it. And then last night we get Submarimon, which that is you get the nice texturing on Submarimon. Gomamon's there. It's so nice. And then we get Digimon and Kid, who sometimes I forget he's not wearing a hat. Iori.
Iori.
I see that image and my brain goes hat, and then my brain goes no hat. That's hair.
He's mad that he doesn't get a hat. He's jealous of Takeru's.
Or is he mad that's his haircut?
I'd
That's
be
a
mad if that was my
yeah.
haircut.
that's a bowl cut.
That's why he wants a hat so bad.
Yeah. At the Digimon art, I fucking love this art where it's him very clearly busting out of a rock wall, and the rocks are just flying everywhere. I fucking love it.
Like,
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good, and that really fucking needs a gradient at the bottom. Like I know we've said it 100 times, but some sort of gradient, something, please.
It's Packers colors.
Yeah. And then we get clean look at packaging and more of the fighter mode Gamamon art showed up on poster. I'm trying to decide. So that Gumamon art's probably a parallel card, I imagine. Because we definitely haven't seen it, and I think we've already seen the Gumamon art from this set. That was the one of him running, wasn't it? So this will probably be a parallel card.
Probably.
Yeah. New printable playmat for the new starter deck, which looks very nice. And then they went over the starter decks in Road to Digimon Card Master. They used the playmats. I like when they do the starter deck matches because they do the playmats from them, so you get to actually see what they look like properly done. And then Digimon Card Battle's doing sign up to do matches against people online. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it because they did like a 2-hour special last time they did that, so we'll see. And then, like we said, at the end of the month, we also get Starter Deck 11, and that Gamamon art's very good. That very
Gamamon
clearly
is-
Kenji Watanabe Gamamon art. Then we get to see the new parallel.
Baby.
We've already seen the cards, they've just been really low resolution. And I think we can all safely say that we know who the tamer is going to be in this set. It's the Revenge of Taichi. Because this is very clearly an Agumon-focused deck with Gamamon as the bonus items, to the point that Gamamon's cards are not even considered to be in the distribution of the deck. They list him as bonus promo cards. So, welcome back to the once and always King Agumon. Fun Digica showed off the deck builder thing. They finished off the tournament for Digimon Card Battle, and that's it for card games for now. Booster Set 8's actually looked really fucking good so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of them because it feels like everything's really clicking super well for the set. So we'll see how it goes. And then the beloved Oi Oi Pop-Up Shop.
The kids try pattern clothes for the first time and it doesn't go well.
And then, as well as that, are the
Ugly.
quality of the images they put up for the products. The shop site, Digimon Web, Digimon Partners, they all have shitty as hell images for all these.
If they were high res, you'd be blinded by Takado's suit.
So you're saying they're trying to protect? No, wait, Takado's suit or Genra's pants?
This is for our protection.
God, they're so fucking ugly.
Oh my god, I just realized. Okay, Genra is reverse Al Borland here.
Oh my god.
I'm 100% right. If you flip those around, that looks like Al, doesn't it?
Did Al wear white pants?
He wore khakis, which close enough, but like he has like the work shoes on that Al would wear. That's clearly an Al.
Al's more of a jeans. I see him in jeans more often.
I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Tim Taylor's
Don't worry
sidekick.
about it.
Oh, okay. That guy.
Yeah. So these are at 5 different locations starting in a few days through January. We have no idea if these will be sold after. So the products are acrylic stands, standard. Square can. I actually like the can badges being square, to be honest. It works especially well for Terriermon. It being square helps Terriermon. Like, Terriermon is the best featured on these can badges because of his size lets him fit on it.
Everything else is irredeemable.
The tote bag. Hey.
Yeah, that's also nice because you can't see Jen's pants.
The weird stick cake.
Which is bad.
Which comes with stickers. Then the weird crunchy chocolates, which are strawberry, like white chocolate things that come with stickers and a card. I don't want to eat those. They don't look very good to me. You know what they kind of look like? They look like Rice Krispie treats flavored with strawberry. Like if you make Rice Krispie treat balls.
Yeah.
That sounds okay.
Yeah, I don't
Sure,
trust
it
them.
won't be, but
And then mini towels, which I assume these are hand towels,
probably yeah.
Probably.
handkerchiefs, like those type of towels.
For the most part, they actually are like little towels that you dry your hands with because apparently, like in Japan, it's really common to not have
Yeah.
like paper towels
Yeah.
available in
Oh,
yeah.
restrooms. Like
Yeah, that's
you
why
bring
anime
your
characters always have handkerchiefs.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's no photos, but there'll be some sort of pouch for 2,200 yen. And they note that the pouch and mini towels will not be at the shops on day one. You can't blame backup in California for that one. And
Maybe someone saw how ugly they were and just burned them.
I,
They combusted on their own.
I'm still bothered by Takado's head, to be quite honest. His head does not fit on that body. I very much wonder if Takada and Genria were drawn as the opposite person and they flipped him.
I don't know
So,
who got the worst deal out of that. I think they both lost.
Harriman's still quite happy though. So look forward to that shop, and I don't know. The stuff's going to show up online at some point, I'm sure. That seems to be built in for the past year and a half for these, so we'll see. And then Pale Dramon went up for pre-order, and that ships next June, and that's about $280, and it's very, very large, and I'm not getting it.
I didn't really care for Pyldramon that much to begin with,
To be
so
honest, if I thought that I had the space, I might be tempted. But it's like, what exactly am I gonna do? This is so large, and unless you have like a dedicated figure display, I don't know what you where. Like a lot of the gems, even the larger precious gems, I could imagine putting one on a shelf, even if you don't deal with figures that much. I don't know what you do with the ones that get this fucking large. Like,
you basically build an entire wall of that at IKEA.
basically, that sounds about right. So we'll see how much this costs when it goes up for pre-order in the U.S. And then the beloved Hello Kitty shirts show back up. Those vanished like a day after they went up. Now they're there, and all 8 are there now. Dev, were you thinking about ordering one or two of these? I think.
The little ones
No,
or the
no,
sprites?
the Hello Kitty shirts.
I was tempted because I really like the Gabumon one and
I think.
Tailmon, but
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I remembered you mentioning the Tailmon one specifically.
I like the kitty.
So those are back up, and we will. I get the feeling these are probably gonna sell well, to be honest. And then, in 100% sure it will sell well, the Digimon Adventure Good Night Party Gashapon figures. These are going to sell like psychotically good.
That's so
Absolutely, these are
sleepy.
what I want the most. I want
Three,
that entire set.
300 yen each in Gashapon machines, so a 8 retail box will be about $22. The instant these show up at places where people can order them easily and at cost, people are gonna buy these up like fucking
Yep.
vacuum. Every single one
Yep,
of these looks fucking amazing. Minus Gomamon, who may be dead. We're not sure.
Gomon is how I feel after getting home from work.
Yeah. Komamon's a mood.
I objectively think there's only one problem with any of these, and that's that in the case of Pumon, I think she's done that exact thing in the show before. That sort of
She
bird's please.
has
That's I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but it makes it stand out in a bit of a weird way from the others. Is the only thing I would say. But yeah,
It's
these are
so
gonna.
burb-like, though.
I know, but I almost don't think of them as like an actual like bird for Piomon. But yeah, these are gonna sell psychotically. I mean, there's no fucking doubt these are gonna show up at conventions for years, and AR will
they
buy
better
new
because
ones
I
every time.
know
I wonder if they'll put like
Absolutely.
a chase figure, like a recolor of like the Agumon in black or something, like they did before.
Well, here's what the cheat's gonna be. They'll say, okay, we're gonna do Series 2, which will be Ghost Game, O2, and Tamers, and one of them will be the Tailmon colored black.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Will it be dressed up like Ghost Game though?
No,
Ah.
that's the cheat. And then let's make
I would make
Digimon
it
good
anyhow.
together. So they did an update on the vote middle of last week. It's closed now, and the update was basically fucking stop it. Was basically the update.
Things went exactly as you'd expect from having
Yeah.
a vote exclusive to Digimon partners.
Yeah. So they've been adjusting cheat votes. They're either done adjusting or very close to being done. The results now are very different than what they were last week, and it's also hilarious in that it effectively confirms everything you would expect with the brand. So number one, let's go over the current results. Number one with 190 votes is Doraemon. So Digimon fans deciding they're going to work together to vote to try to get Doraemon a plush, which I saw 3 or 4 different groups say they were doing, got less
Yeah.
than 200 votes. Number two is Chibimon with 160, which makes sense. Number three,
Mm-hmm.
Gomon with 149. So everyone working as hard as possible for Doraemon gets you 33% more votes than Gomon, who I love Gomon, but that's kind of the booby prize Digimon from Adventure. It's basically the highest Digimon
These vote totals are pathetic.
and I would not be shocked if the votes from Digimon Web are similar. And then number four, one of the most popular Digimon there is, it's Impmon. Number five, actually, I'll say this at the end, Offmon ranked higher than I thought, and anytime Offmon ranked super high, you just went, man, they're gonna knock those fucking votes out, and they fucking did. At one point, Offmon was in the lead with like 300, 400, or something like that.
Oh, good God.
Shoutmon has 44, and then with 30 apiece, we have Frontier's version of Patamon and Lalamon. Lalamon tied for last. She's not technically in last. That's better than I expected.
Yeah,
I'm still surprised Patamon did so poorly.
Well, I think
because
it's a
they
matter
already have so many
because
life-size Patamon plushies.
yeah,
The
it's
only
not.
difference is
I've
just
never known Digimon fans for restraint though.
Yeah. So we're definitely getting Doraemon. We're 100% fucking getting Chibimon. And I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Gomamon also.
probably Gomamon, sure.
Out of those
I
three,
feel like we have a good chance of getting Impmon too, because they
see,
can just use the same pattern as the slightly smaller one.
I don't think they can because they have to make it so they can be life size. So you have to redo some of those proportions and stuff. So you stuff it. I don't know about it, man. I do know I'm fucking buying Chibimon. I'm 99% sure I'm buying Chibimon, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah, yeah.
Like, that's one of those ones that's been in the back of my head for 20 years since they made it the first time, and it was like every import shop had it for 150 or 200 when I was in high
Yeah,
school, and in no way could I have afforded that at the time. That's the one that I
yeah, we can barely
remember.
afford that now.
Yeah.
It would
That's the
be
one that I
awkward
remember.
having a life size Chibimon next to the smaller Vmon they released a couple of years ago.
I don't know, you could like put VMon
Chunk
on Chibimon's
Chibimon.
head. But yeah, I'm fucking buying that, and Dev's going to also, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Doraemon, I don't care how much that one fucking costs. I'm getting that one.
I'm waiting to see what life size means in that context because I, I agree with most people point out it almost has to be life size based on the Rearise one.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Rearise
They're
one's
evolution because that's about 5 times as big as Tokomon, so it's about the size of the Mekumon plushie, I'm guessing.
yeah, but that's why I think they're not gonna do it because here's the thing. If you actually sell these, and let's say they're at the life size price of the other ones, which was 80 or 90 at a minimum for a basic one, that means it's 80 or 90 for Chibimon, and then Doraemon, if you make him of any actual size, you're pushing far over 100. I think
I
you
mean,
have to do him
people
a
do
bit.
not hesitate to pay $500 for the Mareep, so.
Yeah, I still don't know, to be honest. And then, so first up, we got 3 reference book updates: Omegamon Zwart, Black Galgomon, and Black Rapidmon. Now,
Unexpected, but nice.
didn't Black Rapidmon used to have the open mouth art?
Nah, I think it's literally just
It might just be that it's so small it looks like the mouth is open. Like
it
even
looks like it just by the reflection, but no, it's
okay, yeah,
exactly the same as the other Rapid Monarch, just
okay,
flipped to the side.
yeah. I think the gold and the black one. Anytime I see the art small, it kind of looks like it's a mouth rather than the armor. So uh,
Looks like giant buck teeth.
we've had giant art for defeat before. We did not have big art for Galgomon and Rapidmon though, as far as I know. I don't think we did,
Nope,
anyways.
we
Yeah.
didn't.
So that's a neat one. Then we get a few more location photos. The Ghost Game display finished up at Fuji Shop Lake Town, so they kind of put up one more photo going last day, blah blah. Then a few more very nice photos of that Bandai display of the Gabumon suit standing there menacingly staring at anyone who walks by.
He's vibe checking everybody who walks around the corner.
You need to like pose that suit or something, like have it waving. Don't just have it standing, staring, and judging.
What if it
Um,
suddenly starts moving like some Five Nights at Freddy's shit?
um, then we get a few different things. So they updated the Digimon profile page with the Gamamon drawing song and posted a large version of, oddly, not the image they keep using for the song, which is not the art the song teaches you to draw, which is a bit odd, but okay. They did a introduction video for the Digivice V. I don't know why, but like anytime they show like the guy running, and then they have the Gamamon sprite running too, I just kind of laugh. It's amusing as hell. Bandai put up their holiday catalog page for the various Vital Bracelet stuff. Nice enough. Hey, look, there's Santa.
It's
Uh,
Santamon.
then we get profile art for the guest Digimon in the episode and a photo of the Gamamon plush. In is that Gatchmon's Halloween? Did they steal that from Gatchmon?
I think they did. Yeah, Gatchmon was a pumpkin.
Brutally
They
stolen.
just raided Build-A-Bear or something.
It really can't. There's only so many Digimon outfits they can put them
Oh
in for
no! See,
Halloween,
see, here's the thing.
apparently.
I hope they do this every week because I want to see how they're gonna stretch to deal with this. I would love to see it every week. And then we get a stack of art. So first up, Tenya Yabuno drew Angoramon, Pafu Pafu, Yamamon. Good old Akira Toriyama put that in everyone's head forever. Then a few days after the last episode, he put up art of Ruli and Angoramon, which that's
And
great
then
art.
again.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Yeah, I resized that one because he put it up, then he deleted it saying there was something wrong, and then he put it back up. But the one where he put it back up, the art's like been scaled strangely. I think Twitter did something to it, so I figured out what the real size was and shrunk it back to that. And then to celebrate 3,000 followers, Volcano Oda put up his old rough draft of Volcamon from when the character was being designed before Kenji Watanabe finished the design.
I always love seeing like behind the scenes
Yeah.
and concept art stuff like this.
Yeah, I especially love his because they always look so like nice and cartoony, and the like showing all the details really well. I like how he goes, I hope I don't lose followers right after this is upload, because he put it up like when he had like 3,001 followers. So I think he
Oh.
so I think he was worried that like people would drop
Yeah, a couple
right after he
spam
said that.
bots
Yeah.
unfollow. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I looked, it was a bit higher, so that's all good.
We're
And
happy for him.
then the last V Tamer Obi, um, from Izawa, he basically pointed out that he didn't want to have a kid be the last boss. He wanted it to be a Digimon, so Demon shows up again. And it was partially inspired to give UL Force Veedramon something to fight against. And Yabuno pointed out that the design's based on the attack Dragon Impulse, but that kind of goes back to Izawa's idea of Overwrite as a skill, and that's kind of all based on it. Those two are always like throwing credit at each other really nicely. And then we have questions. So you guys in the chat can throw them up. And our first one's from our friend Diego. He got back his old PS4 and it still had Digimon World Next Order installed with all 3 hours he put into it. So this was a multi-part question. The first was, did we play Digimon World Next Order, and if so, how much? No, I did
Nope.
not.
No, I do not have a PS4, so.
I know a bad game when I see it. And then he wanted to know, what's the fastest you have bounced off a game you were excited for?
That I was
Mm.
excited for.
Bounced
That
off,
I can't
when he
think
says
of
bounced off,
one.
I assumed is kind of what Scott never played it again is what I assume he means.
Yeah, no, I
I
get the
figure about like
question.
2 or 3 hours, and I think that might have been actually Digimon World X because I was hyped to play it. Doraemon was in it. It's like a hack and slash, but the loading times were absolutely soul destroying.
It is bad Gauntlet.
It was fucking horrible to play. And then I tried playing it again years later because, better take a look at this so I can fill
Exactly
out
what you
that article
remembered.
on Wikimon. And she's like, no, this is horrible.
Let's see. I'm trying
See,
to think
the
here.
thing is if it's a game that I was actually excited for getting, doesn't happen so often. So if I do get it, it's usually worth my while. I can't think of any games that I was actually excited for. There've certainly been games that I just picked up on Steam randomly that I'll play for an hour and go,
Oh,
okay, this is
that's
kind of
easy.
crap.
That's easy
Yeah,
on
that happens
Steam
all
though.
the time. Yeah.
Um, does it
If I
count?
pay $60 for a game, I'm playing it.
So I'm trying to think because
There was
uh,
also like that Spyro reboot a while back. What the hell, like
Oh, I
Legend of
got that for
Spyro? It's like,
I got
wow,
that
this looks fun. I love Spyro. It's like, wow, this is fucking horrible.
that happened to actually I got that for my wife for Christmas, I think. I think it made it like maybe 3 hours.
I I forced through it just because, like, I bought this game. Maybe it gets better. No, no,
oh,
no, it didn't.
No.
okay, I thought of it. Oh, the problem is we've actually brought up this game before, Quest 64,
Oh, yeah.
because there weren't that many RPGs on the N64, and it's like, oh
And
man,
we found out
it,
we
it,
found out why.
it's like, oh man, a fully 3D RPG. The graphics look kind of good for N64 at the time, and it's
No.
not. Yeah,
Nope.
it's not good.
Nope. It's not a good
Yeah,
game.
it happened a lot in that era. Except it was more in that era, especially. It was more. Oh man, I at my grandparents for the weekend, and my N64 or PlayStation 1 are there, and I'm gonna rent a game, and I'll have the whole weekend to play it. And then in 10 minutes into it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Although
Yep.
Quest, I'm 99% sure I owned. Shame. Such a shame. But yeah, there's lots of. It's generally more like a type of game that just doesn't work. RPGs always feel like a shame because those are always the ones you expect you're gonna spend a bunch of time with.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then he wanted to finish off by going, do we think they would do a PC port of Next Order like with Cybersleuth? Do we think the boat sailed on it? I wouldn't say the boat sailed. I mean, the priority theoretically survive, and there's just we technically don't know how well Next Order did. They've made clear that they don't think it did very well though. Like so
Mm.
I mean, here's the thing: it uses Unity, so it wouldn't be that hard to port if they wanted to get something there. It's just a matter of making the game not terrible.
Yeah. And if it was on PC, I would get it on a winter
Yeah,
sale or something.
Like, I'd at least try it, but it's just like
Yeah.
I'm not spending that kind of
I've
money
never
on.
I've never played a world game before, so I would give it a shot
I mean,
under the
generally,
right
I like the
circumstances.
VPET style raising games, but it's just they're never on systems that I can get a hold of.
yeah. And then Ramon wants to know: are pre-orders for the Angormon and Jellymon Dim still there? As he missed out on them. So especially in the case of like normal stuff at Amazon Japan, they will close pre-orders before they hit their number, and then they will confirm what they're getting and reopen it and then close. It happens a lot with the dim cards, which get like batch orders based on news. So I would just keep an eye on it. And Premium Bandai has the, if you aren't good with importing, Premium Bandai has the set of the three of them. And I think that they were keeping that open until like December or something, weren't they?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you can definitely still find them. Um, Then someone wants to know anything you hope to get for the holiday season or anything you plan to buy yourself. So, Dev, why don't you go first? What do you hope to get for the holiday season?
Um, Hard to really say because like everything that I like really want either comes out beforehand or like a month or two after, but basically Pokemon games.
Okay, that makes sense. Are you
Yeah.
buying those for yourself, or is there something coming out around the holiday season you're just gonna buy yourself?
I generally buy them myself just because like I want to play them now and I don't want to wait until after the holiday.
Yeah,
That I
that's
don't really like asking my family for things that like might be expensive or require going online to order because they don't know how to order things online.
Yeah, same problem we've got.
So it's like I'll take a couple pictures of like, oh, I saw this plushie at GameStop, or hey, these pajamas at Hot Topic look really comfy. And she's like, but I'll try and like keep it like, hey,
yeah,
don't spend too much money on me,
yeah,
please don't.
yeah. Various family members try to get me things because they feel bad just getting gift cards. Like, no, just get me the gift card.
No, just
So
give me the gift card.
So
Yeah.
so it'll always be something like they'll get me a gift card and then it'll be like a TARDIS keychain or something where they're trying, they know I like Doctor Who, so they throw in something to try to show that they're trying, and I appreciate that. So
Yeah.
AR,
Yeah.
what are you hoping to get for the holiday season this year?
What, like
Minus
games and stuff?
it does not
No.
say just a gift. Minus me
Oh,
sending you the
I
gum.
need a new yeah, I was gonna say I need a new printer is what I need. But again, I don't expect anyone to get that for me. It's like if anyone knows how to shop for printers, it would be me.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for money to buy a new printer.
Gonna get a nice laser one that's reliable.
Possibly.
I
Possibly.
would
I need
definitely
to.
recommend something that's not an HP.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I actually work in the office supply industry, so HP is definitely out. I know that
So
much.
you're gonna buy yourself a holiday printer.
That's probably what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Okay. Anything I hope to get for the holiday season? The one thing I was thinking of getting, I already decided not to. I was seriously considering getting an OLED TV that was on sale, and
Didn't you just get like a new TV not that long ago?
yes, but you remember I watch movies for a living, so
Oh
having
yes, but like within like the past year, I feel
no,
like.
no, 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Very good TV, very happy with it. It has a lot of bloom, which dealing with HDR is honestly like an actual pain in the ass. That's not a complaint. That's a work oddity. And but I kind of went, maybe moving next year, and don't really want to move a TV that I just bought. You know what I mean? So instead,
Yeah.
so instead, I decided to do the unreasonable thing, and I bought a cheaper TV to give to my dad.
Woohoo.
Plan to buy for myself. I'm seriously considering getting some sort of equipment. I don't know what. I don't know if it'll be like replacing my computer, which is getting older. Um, Buying some sort of FPGA gaming equipment. I will get myself something stupid. I don't know what.
An Amico.
Oh yeah, like we think they're going to be out by Christmas. They are.
Right, that would be the good marketing move.
Oh no. Oh hey, it could be worse. They're selling the games.
What, they're selling the games and the system isn't even out
Oh
yet?
no, it's worse. They're selling the games, but the physical games for the Amico are RFID cards that activate digital purchases. So
Oh
they're
god.
selling physical games that have no games on them, but that come with a lenticular card and a coin. But here's the thing: you can't buy. It gets worse. Are you ready? You can't buy a single $20 game. You have to buy them in game bundles that cost 80 each.
Oh my god.
What?
It's
Are
literally.
are we sure this isn't like a money laundering scheme? Because this sounds like a money laundering scheme.
I mean, most of these it seems like a lot of these retro systems are nowadays.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things. It's one of those weird things where, like, I think it's just really badly managed. I believe the intent does exist to do everything. I think it's just bad planning and the refusal to admit there's anything akin to an issue. But yes, they are selling the RFID, and here, are you ready for the best part? They don't come in like nice snap clamshells or cardboard boxes. They come in digipacks, like you get some DVD and Blu-rays in, but there's no
Mm.
like outer sleeve to hold them together.
Oh god.
So it's just like
Oh.
a cardboard flap. And anytime I see it, I just kind of laugh because it just. And I think one of the games had the wrong font on the cover. I saw someone saying it's anything you say and just would make up about the Amico invariably probably is better than what they're actually doing. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, am gonna buy myself something, not an Amico, assuming they show up on shelves, mind you. Um, I'm sure something.
It's online only and you have to play with crypto.
Let's see. No more questions in the chat, so they have their last chance while we do the last few. Someone wants to know, could they do a more serious vital bracelet?
I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of the vital
So
bracelet.
so I've
And
seen this at. Sorry,
weren't
go
they
ahead.
trying to rebrand expand the Vital Bracelet to other brands?
Yes, to Common Rider and Ultraman, but it's roughly the same thing. It's just those ones come with bigger bands for adults. Um, so here's the thing. I've actually seen this come up from multiple people on Twitter, and I think there's a misunderstanding of what this. Like, I don't want to say it's not a fitness tracker because it is.
It's like baby's first fitness tracker.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're not trying to compete with fitness trackers because they can't win. Because if you're buying a serious fitness tracker, you're not really interested in the toy aspect of it. It is, and I know people get upset when we say this. It's a toy. It's There's a reason
Yeah.
It's
why
a
it is
toy
made as
first
It's
with
a
some
toy it's a
fitness
toy
stuff in it.
yeah, it's a toy that's trying to trick you
yeah.
into running.
Yes, it's sort of like I've seen people say, "Oh, Fitbit should make with Bandai a better," and I've seen people say actually this like a better vital. Fitbit doesn't need Bandai. They have a kid-friendly. I don't know what the difference is, but they make a kid Fitbit that's 60, 70, 80. The entire there's just no interest in doing. I'm not gonna say it would never happen because premium Bandai and weird collector shit always gives a possibility. But the entire reason the Vital Bracelet works is because they can sell the Digivice V at a discount at show release for $40, and then you pay $10 each time you want something new. I the market for doing a $100, $150 fancy one, I just don't think exists outside of fans who are
It's a little
going to
too niche.
do it themselves anyways. I guess is the way I would put it. Like the people who are customizing theirs, getting commission customs. There's no reason for Bandai to do it because it would cost more than just doing it. So it's not impossible, but I would say no. At least for now. I can easily imagine them doing, a few hundred at premium. Bandai charge 150 or 200. It's possible, but not likely. Then someone sent in, what is your favorite Thanksgiving TV special? And I had to sit there for a while and go,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. I thought of one, and I started going, oh, this is going to be a great answer. And then I sat there, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a Christmas special not forgotten, because the Garfield one, when they go to the farm, that's the Christmas special, right?
I think that's a Christmas one, yeah.
Okay, because I remember like them doing a big thing about the turkey, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is Christmas because I
That
remember
I think
Garfield
it's
finding the
Christmas.
photos. Yeah, it is.
Yep. Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure I remember a Peanuts one where they make Charlie
was-
Brown, where they make him do Thanksgiving, and then they get upset that he doesn't make a meal, and it's like, well, what were you expecting? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I
Snoopy had
never.
made a
Yeah,
dinner.
the Peanuts one never's. I'm pretty sure I've seen the Peanuts ones, and they'd never really impressed me. Like I wouldn't answer that just because they're the only ones I can think of. Like, does MST3K Turkey Day count? Because that's all I got.
Yeah, like I liked my Garfield answer up until the point when I realized it wasn't a Christmas special.
Not at Christmas.
And then
Thanksgiving is pretty lackluster for holiday specials.
So Thanksgiving, at least in my mind, less specials, more Thanksgiving episodes of shows. So why don't we answer that? Because I'm pretty sure there's hundreds of those.
I'm struggling to think of them. Like I know there's got to be a Simpsons one, but
I'm sure there's a
spacing
few.
on me now.
I have the best answer, but I'm not sure it counts.
What?
Adam's Family Values.
There you go. I like it.
Because they have the whole Turkey Day song, and then they burn the entire camp to the ground.
That's probably better than my answer if I don't remember probably one of those episodes of Friends. Now I'm trying not.
I think South Park had a Thanksgiving Day episode.
I mean, they have episodes for fucking everything.
Yeah.
In my mind,
I mean, I'm talking back when I actually watched South Park, which was like season
my brain keeps trying to go. Scrubs or MASH must have had a Thanksgiving episode somewhere. I can't remember enough to say, but one of those must have, or Boy Meets World, something must have.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's just the Halloween and Christmas ones are always super memorable.
Thanksgiving is weak for themed entertainment.
Yeah,
which is weird because like I enjoy the holiday fine. My relatives are enjoyable enough company.
I mean, I just usually work that day, and then I want to just murder everyone who comes in. And it's like, oh,
Dev,
you're
that's a normal
Like,
weekday.
yeah, because of you.
I'm also not in retail, so I don't have to work that weekend.
Yeah,
I get a 4-day week. It's great. It's weekend. It's nice.
And then the last question: were there plans for Digimonica this year? We will see. At the moment, nothing is prepped, but we will see. It's effectively a matter of, do I have enough time to mash 8 things together that does not feel like cheating at some point? Like, if it's just scans of 8 CDs, it kind of feels like cheating.
I mean, I have a stack of model kits that I have to put together, so I mean that could, do at least 2 or 3 days worth.
Reminds me, I have a CD that I was gonna scan that I forgot to a while ago because my scanner stopped working for a bit. Because as I established, I need a new printer.
Yeah, so we'll see. The answer at the moment is probably not, to be honest, but we will see. At some point,
how much shit does Dev have floating around in her room?
Yeah, but it can't all be just whatever Dev happens to dig up. Especially
it has been in previous years. Let's be fair.
You want another video on my crippled hopping Tailmon?
Yes. AR. have you done anything or will you be doing anything that's relevant in any way for anyone listening?
I mean, it's still frontier questions, so no. My Twitter is First Agent ARP. My Tumblr is uh firstagent.tumblr.com. I'll try to get to a non-frontier ask this week. I think I killed them all off
Oh yeah.
after like
Okay.
5.
What was the top Halloween candy for the kid that he was able to get?
Surprisingly a lot of well, I mean, we get a lot of everything. Like someone was handing out full-size Snickers, like that's the mother load. A surprising number of nerds. I didn't think he knew what nerds were, and he got really excited whenever he got nerds.
As I recall, school stores used to love selling those because they were very easy to stack. So
Yeah,
possibly something
yeah.
got in from a school at some point.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read this week?
Animalakarimon, because he deserves it.
It's just a fun name to say too. Anamalakarimon.
And I love Animalakaris, which it is based on. It delights me to
Mm-hmm.
no end. I was supposed to be a paleontologist.
And I can be
No, my
found
bills
with the
pay.
and I can be found at with the will as always. Thank you everyone for showing up. We will catch you next week with hopefully an answer to the question of how much longer can we make Nagatoro jokes, considering I don't think any of us actually watch Nagatoro.
I've seen the manga covers and some screenshots. I feel that makes me knowledgeable enough.
That's enough.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
I
that'll
own
do.
2 or 3 volumes of the manga, which I haven't read. So, also close enough. So, we will catch you guys next time. Thanks again for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.